Saturday haul on for you guys today, and I'm going to start off with a repurchase, and this is definitely a broken record product for me, but I ran out of backups of the Josie Maran Argan Daily Moisturizer SPF 47, which is my daily SPF and moisturizer I use between my face and my neck, because these are a little bit smaller pumps, but probably 10 pumps between my face and neck every single day. So I do tend to go through it a little bit quicker, but this is a 2 fluid ounce bottle, and I'm showing 3 here when I actually purchased 4 because one's in the bathroom. In case you haven't seen me talk about this product, this is what the bottle looks like. It's a glass bottle with a pump package on there, and this is a mineral sunscreen, which is really good for my more sensitive skin type, and it's just, again, a product that I've been using for a really long time for SPF. I know they've come out with some different variations of it, but this is always the go-to for me. I do like their tinted version as well, but recently I've just been using the straight original version of that, and I thought it was really nice too. There was a card inside the box that said, "A surprise treat just for you. Thank you for being you. To show our appreciation, we're gifting you a free argan power treat," which I thought was super nice. And this is the Whipped Argan Oil Intensive Hand Cream, 2.37 fluid ounce bottle of hand cream, which I can definitely use. It had been really hot and humid, but it's starting to get down. Okay, so last night it got down to, I think it was 38 degrees, and I'm like, I'm not ready for that, okay? Like 2 weeks ago it was like 92 degrees or something like that, so it dropped rather quickly, and I can already tell a difference in the dryness of my skin, which I'm not crazy about. I love the humidity for what it does for my skin, even though I don't love humidity, if that makes sense, but I do appreciate it for what it does for the skin. Anyway, it was fine timing to get this little hand cream right here because I should start using it. I like to use it at night because I don't like hand creams for whatever reason, especially on the palms of my hands. So I just put a dollop on the back and then I go like that and like go to sleep. So that was a nice little treat that was in the package. I also purchased Adept Cosmetics' latest eyeshadow palette, and it's the Sumerian Sunset palette. This is the eyeshadow palette that I have got on my eyes today. And then the detail is on this plastic, which is on the outside of the palette when you receive it. So this guy here has got a net weight of 30 grams or 1.05 ounces. So you're getting a pretty nice amount of product per shadow. And it says, distributed by Adept Cosmetics, Sheridan, Wyoming, made by Adept Cosmetics in Hong Kong, China. That is what it says on the little plastic piece there. This palette is so beautiful. I have loved every single Adept Cosmetics palette that I have purchased. The quality is just so there, and they are pretty expensive, but this is a brand that continually comes out with like new shades, which is extremely hard to do in eyeshadow land, right? Like, I don't mean like new shades in their range, I just mean new like finishes and shades across all eyeshadows. They're just very unique and very beautiful. This one is no exception. It's absolutely stunning. It is a standalone for me, even though I would have liked maybe a little bit of a deeper matte in here, but I can get away with the 2 deeper matte greens in the crease. I've got the Darmok shade, which is this one right here in the crease, and then I blended it out with Delta Quadrant. So this whole bottom row are matte eyeshadows, and then the top 2 rows are just the most beautiful, some multi-chrome, some just extremely shiny and metallic, just the most beautiful eyeshadows. They are that type of formula that has a little bit of a spongy type of factor to them. They apply pretty decent with a finger, but I do like to use a kind of flat shader and work my brush in there to get it on. I do use a primer, a hydrating primer, and I do not set my primer. So these spongier shades can kind of crease a little bit depending on how heavy I pack the shadow on. If you set your primer or you have really oily eyelids that you go directly over your bare lid with a shade like this, it probably will crease on you. So you'd want to use a longer wearing maybe primer for something like that. They're not all super spongy, but the majority of them are. And just wait, oh my gosh, just wait till you see these swatches. They're just absolutely beautiful, and these are also magnetized inside of the palette. So the Seahorse palette, there's a couple of them that have come out with the same sizes, so you can mix and match and switch between the brand. A lot of kind of multi-chrome going on right there. They're just so pretty. And then these next ones, this shade right here is stunning. One of the most vibrant, shiny tangerine oranges that I have ever seen, like quite literally. And this is what I've got on my lid today, is that tangerine right there. It is such a stunning color. You know, I should really try these two like deeper metallics. They almost have like a black base underneath them. I bet those would work really nice in the crease as well, for like an all shiny kind of look. And then these next ones. I haven't tried those deep shimmers in the crease, but I bet those would turn out super pretty as well. So I may have to do that. I've worn this palette so many times, but I have not done that yet. And then these last three mattes right here. And their matte formula is really nice. Pigmented, blends out really nice. So those are the 5 mattes right there. Let me try to get you a good once over. It is such a stunner. Like, I seen the pictures, I think it was on Instagram first, and I was like, oh my gosh, that looks beautiful. I love Adept Cosmetics shadows and stuff like that. And then when I got it and I opened it, I was just like, wow, like pictures almost don't do it justice, you know. So hopefully you can kind of really see just how beautiful this guy is. Again, that is the new Adept Cosmetics Sumerian Sunset eyeshadow palette, and it's what I've got on my eyes today. Like, don't you just want to like look at these? I also picked up the new Tarte Man-eater Nightfall eyeshadow palette, and I got this guy because of how nice the original, or the first Man-eater 24 pan palette was. Like, the quality of that palette was just super, super nice. So I got this guy because the color story looked really pretty. I'm really into like a real deep kind of sultry, especially like, you know, going into fall type of look, and these shades just look like that for me. So there's 24 shadows that are 1 gram per shade, which is a decent amount of shadow that you're getting. And it says on the packaging that this palette is made in Taiwan. And the packaging of this one is a burgundy, where the first one was like a black, and then it's a gold, almost mirrored finish on the back. It's got a nice weight to it. It's a nice packaging in my opinion. And then you open it up and there's a pretty nice sized mirror in there. It doesn't flip all the way back, obviously, because it's a hard plastic packaging. But here are your 24 shadows, and this is a standalone for me as well. There are some really pretty shimmers that are light for like the inner portion of the eye, and then also some light brow bone mattes, some deep crease colors, blend out colors, just really pretty color combination, both in terms of the shades and also the tones, like light to dark. And I've worn this palette several times as well, and I really like the looks that come out of this guy. The foiled or kind of the metallic shades are really, really shiny. They're nothing super like special, like no special multi-chromes or anything like that, but the quality of the shadows themselves is really, really nice. So let's go ahead and give you guys some swatches here. I've actually grabbed this palette quite a few times to get those deeper mattes, and I paired it with that Sumerian Sunset palette with those really beautiful shimmers. Got some stunning looks that way as well. But this palette as a standalone is great because like the shimmers are beautiful. Or metallics. They're like metallic shimmers, I guess. And these next ones. So I was looking at some of their holiday sets because of how nice this palette is, but I was kind of waiting to see if I could see maybe an Ulta to see if they were also made in Taiwan, because then maybe the formula will be the same across them. But and then these guys. Just like super pretty. And then this next row. And these guys. I'd have to move to the side of my arm here. And then these last four. Put them right here. So that guy there is the new Tarte Man-eater Nightfall palette. And it is really nice. I've enjoyed every time that I've used these shadows out of there, and the color combinations as well, and pairing it. Like, but let me grab the first one and show them together. So here you've got the two together. Here's the original one with the black, and then here's the burgundy kind of purple one. And the original is a stunning formula as well. Both really, really nice palettes. Are getting a nice amount of product, a lovely color combination, and they work really well too. The first Man-eater palette says made in Taiwan as well, so if you got along with the first one, I believe the formulas between the two palettes are the same. So I also grabbed this little Colourpop palette inside of Target, and it's the Feels Best Day Ever 9-pan palette. These ones are not magnetized like the majority of Colourpop's palettes, but I really liked the color story, so I grabbed it because I don't have these shades in my collection. Just kidding. This one has 9 grams or 0.3 ounces of product, so each shade in here is also a gram. It's the hard plastic packaging, and Colourpop products are made in the US as well. And I do get along with Colourpop's formula pretty well. And then these guys. Really soft, buttery formula. And then this last shade. Just a really pretty like fall 9-pan palette. So that one is Colourpop The Feels pressed powder palette, and I got it in Target. And that's everything that I got and that I purchased this week. I know I've got a big cart on Ulta and Sephora. There are quite a few, again, new concealers that are coming out that I'm really wanting to try among some other things. But I did get in a really lovely PR package from ESUM. They came out with a new product, which ESUM is Muse Beauty Pro. Muse Beauty Pro launched the ESUM makeup range, which I've used and loved several of their brushes for a very, very long time. So they came out with the Pen Liner Precision Tip Illustrator. It says Pro Performance Certified Clean and Vegan. The highlights: waterproof, smudge proof, matte black pigment, cruelty-free, and vegan. It says, pro tips: shake well with cap on before use, apply directly to the eye, skin for personal application, for use on others. Press the side of the nylon tip onto, oh wow, onto a palette to release liquid to apply liner with a makeup brush. Cool. A waterproof liquid liner ideal for lining the eyes, creating graphic art and face detailing. Precision nylon tip glides on evenly for clean, sharp lines and applies seamlessly over makeup or bare skin. Equipped with a quick setting formula, the liner flows through an internal ball chamber for a controlled and even application. Developed with a clean charcoal pigment for a rich black matte finish and glycerin for a silky smooth application and conditioning finish on the skin, is what it says about the liner there. Now, I have used this, and because I use such shiny metallic shadows, I do have to make a couple passes with pen liners when I use them. However, in the terms of how many pen liners I've used over a substantial amount of time, this is a really nice pen liner. And then When I first got it, I had swatched it on my hands because I'm always interested right off the bat to see how fluid the product is that comes out of a pen like this. And it came out really well. And then, you know, I let it dry and I was like, oh, that's like really inky and black, right? Well, I washed my hands. I was outside riding. I mean, like all these things. And there were still remnants of the liner on my hand like hours later after a whole bunch of stuff. So the longevity is definitely there. So typically when I use pen liners, I like to use them to really sharpen up a winged line or really get fine in the inner like part where I start the wing liner. So that's kind of how I like to use these. So you just shake it up, and it does say on the packaging that this guy is made in Korea. There's 0.55 milliliters or 0.019 fluid ounces of product. Very interesting. Ingredients: water, and the second one is charcoal powder. So you know she's gonna be dark, nice and inky. So this is the pen. And then, so let's pretend we're putting on a palette. So you'd squeeze out the product. And yeah, you can definitely see it's coming out. Gosh, it is so, so black. And then let's do like a line. Pretty good, right? I should wipe this off right away. Because otherwise I'm going to probably have to scrub it off, but I mean, that's going a pretty decent ways without having to put it back in the cap and shake it up, you know. Let's let it dry though, just for a minute. Gosh, it is really dark and it's drying down to a matte finish. This part right here isn't dry yet because I like squeezed the formula out of it, kind of how they said on the instructional card. But it's kind of drying there. You can see it. It is a dark matte inky black pen liner. I think if you're somebody who likes to just do the finest line on your lash line with a little baby wing, I think that you would really like this. It's a long wearing product as well. So again, that guy there is the ESUM Pen Liner Precision Tip Illustrator. Right there. And then the other product from ESUM is the Artistry Palette number 4 Elevate Pigment Palette. So this is one of their removable slide out palettes. And I saw this palette on Instagram in different promos for ESUM. And I went to the website. I do want to get their matte palette as well, but I went to the website looking for this one because of the blues and purples and I couldn't find it. Well, it's because it wasn't out yet. So this is their, again, their number 4 Elevate Pigment Palette. This is the card that came inside of the packaging right there. Certified clean, gluten-free, non-toxic, cruelty-free, and vegan, made in Italy. 15 shadows that are 1 gram, also a piece, or 0.03 ounces. An expressive, colorful collection of 15 reflective hues that create movement and variety with modern textures from metallic to iridescent finishes. Each palette is curated by shade, tone, texture, and is designed with a range of warm, cool, and neutral shades. The sleek ESUM palette case is engineered for a streamlined footprint with a removable cover that securely slides under the base for a comfortable fit in hand and a cleaner workspace. Each palette includes a magnetic sliding insert to securely house the individual pans, perfect for reorganizing and refillable options. The palette is developed with 30% post-consumer recycled materials with all outer packaging made from 100%. So this is what the box packaging looks like, and I'll also show it next to the other all shimmer palette that I have from them. Their packaging is pretty cool. So it looks like this. It's got a nice weight to it. You push the ESUM portion and it slides out like this, and you can just flip this around and put it back on there so you have the lid, or you can set it off to the side. But this is refillable, so this also slides out of the bottom case. There are names on the back of the shadows, and then you can just pop these out with your finger from the back of the palette to rearrange them with other shades in the range. Or if you wanted to take them all and put them in a larger magnetic palette or something like that, you can do that. I always love when brands do that because there's more versatility to it. So that is the packaging. Let me put it back in here so that I don't drop it. And these shadows are really, really pretty. Like super nice quality eyeshadows. Nothing super revolutionary in terms of the shades. These ones right here, there's quite a bit of duochrome in that top row. And for an all shimmer look, I can get away with this palette because of these deep shimmers that are in there. If I'm going for like an all shimmer look, this shade is really pretty. It's got an interesting kind of duochrome blue to it. But just a really, really pretty formula. of shimmer shadows. And there aren't like any chunks or like big glitters or anything like that in here. They're all pretty smooth, like kind of refined. And then these guys, yeah, they're just so soft, like buttery, if you will. Ooh. I just realized I swatched that green shade twice. So we'll get these next 4 shades here. Like really pretty colorful shadows, but they're not like, I don't feel like they're too overly intense, which makes them a little bit more wearable for color, you know what I mean? So here it is next to the number 2 palette on top, which is more neutral, but that same really smooth, shiny formula. And then the bottom one is the number 4 Elevate. This one's called the number 2 Intensity. So again, you can mix and match these and stuff like that. I need to get my hands on the matte palette so I could really like customize, you know. But really, really pretty formula from ESUM, and a huge thank you to ESUM for sending me over their latest launches. And that is everything that I have for my haul today. I hope that you guys enjoyed it and found it helpful. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to wear sunscreen, and I will see you guys later. Bye.